Have you ever experienced something um, that feels so confusing? I think that one of the most confusing thing about anxiety, um, it is sometimes the danger is gone, but the body is still acting like it is happening right now. Your life may actually be calmer now. Maybe the difficult situation has passed. Maybe the people, circumstances, problem that cause stress are no that are no longer there. But somehow your body still feel like something is wrong. Probably you may still notice that you are too tense. Um, you too worry. You too feel like you need to be prepared for something bad to happen. And the confusion part is your mind knows one thing, but your body feels um, completely different. Your mind says um, everything is okay, but your body says stay alert, be careful, something might happen. And for many people, it creates a very confusing question. So that why can't I just relax like anyone else? Why am I feeling? When am I still feeling this way? When my life is finally calmer. Some people even start blaming themselves. They think maybe something is wrong with me. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I should be able to move on by now. But today, I want to talk about a different possibility. What if your body is not telling you? What if your nervous system is actually doing exactly what it would decide to do? It is trying to protect you from danger. Now, I want to share something personal because I think It is something that many people can relate to. There have been moments in my own life where I could largely understand um, that things were okay. There have been moments in my life when I could largely understand that thing was okay, right? But my body still not feeling okay. And I think that a very strange capacity, means strange experience, because you can tell yourself, I'm safe. I don't need to worry. Everything is fine. But the feeling is still there. You know, your body is still carrying that tension. And when you don't understand what is happening, it's easy to become frustrated with yourself. You start fighting the feeling. You start asking, why am I like this? But what I learned is that the better question is, what is my body trying to protect me from? Because the nervous system, they not only respond to what is happening right now, it also respond to what it has learned from your past experiences. Now, let's think about the smoke alarm. A smoke alarm is not your enemy. Its job is to protect you. But if there was a shared price in the past, that smoke alarm may become more sensitive. It may react faster. It may go up. Even there's only excuse me, a small amount of smoke. The nervous system can work in a similar way. Sometimes it becomes very good at protecting you, but it doesn't always know when the danger has passed. And that is why someone can be in a safer place in life, but to feel unsafe inside. So if your nervous system can continue feeling unsafe, even when your life is calmer, the next question becomes, why did this happen? Why doesn't the body simply say, um, okay, now the danger is gone. I can relax. The reaction is the reason is because the nervous system is not designed to make you comfortable. Its first job is to keep you safe and to keep you alive. And it's a big difference between those two things. Being comfortable is something that we want, but being safe is something the nervous system is constantly trying to evaluate. The nervous system is always asking, is there a threat? Do I need to prepare? Do I need to protect myself? And sometimes, after difficult experiences, the nervous system can be very good at finding possible danger, even when there is no immediate danger in front of you. Now, let's think about someone who has lived through a difficult period in life. Maybe they had to be always responsible. Maybe they had to always be prepared. Maybe they had to pay attention to other people's uh, emotion. And they felt like they could not make mistakes at all. And during that time, those responsible, those responses may have helped them. Being alert helped them. Planning ahead helped them. Trying to control things helped them. And there was not weakness. There was always the person adapted. But the problem is sometimes the nervous system continue using those same strategies even after the situation changes. Now let's imagine when a heavy backpack. If you wear that backpack for a few minutes, it's manageable, right? But if you carry it um, for days or years, eventually you may forget you're even carrying it. You just know, I'm tired, I'm tense, I can't relax. Sometimes emotional threats works the same way. The body becomes used to carrying the weight. And this is where many people become frustrated because they think, I understand this, I know I'm safe. Why am I feeling anxious? But understanding something intellectually And feelings in your body are not always the same, not always the same thing. You can tell yourself there's no danger, but your nervous system makes you be saying, let's be careful. And that doesn't mean that your mind is weak. It doesn't mean your body is broken. It means your nervous system learned something and did leads us to something very important. I think sometimes the thing we do to protect ourselves can accidentally keep the nervous system in protection mode. It is something I call the safety paradox, and this is where many people accidentally make the problem stronger without realizing it. Now, for example, when someone feels anxious, one natural reaction is to avoid whatever makes them uncomfortable, and that makes sense. If something feels threatening, our instinct is to move away from it. Avoiding something can bring immediate relief. You feel better in that moment. But sometimes the nervous system learns a different message. So it learns good things were escaped that must have been dangerous. But here's the part that surprises many people. Understanding this, they not always make the feeling disappear. So the next time the situation appears, the alarm becomes even stronger. Another example to overthinking. Many people who overthink are not trying to create more threat. They're trying to prevent problems. They're trying to prepare. They're trying to make sure that they don't get hurt. And their intention is protection. But the body can interpret content problem, solving it. You must be in danger because what you're looking for solutions. So I want you to remember this. Your nervous system is not your enemy. It is not trying to ruin your life. It is trying to protect you using the information it has learned. The question is not how do I fight my nervous system. The better question is, how do I help my nervous system learn that I'm safe now? And that brings us to the next part, because understanding why this happens is important. But the next question is, if the nervous system uh, learns the patterns, can it learn something new? Can the body actually learn safety again? And that is what I want to talk about next. So now we come to a question that I think uh, is very important to know. If your nervous system learns the pattern, can it to learn something different? But changing it requires something different from what most people try first. Can someone who has spent years feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or always on alert actually learn how to feel safe again? And the answer is yes. But there's something important we need to understand. First, many people try to create change by fighting the feeling. You know, they think, I shouldn't feel anxious. I need to stop thinking this way. I need to get rid of this reaction. And I understand why. Nobody wants to feel uncomfortable. Nobody wants to feel like their own body is working against them. But sometimes the way we respond to the feeling can actually send another message to the nervous system. For example, imagine that you feel anxiety coming up, your heart starts beating faster, your thoughts here start racing, your body feels uncomfortable. The first reaction might be something is wrong. I need to make this stop. I cannot handle it. But notice what message the nervous system receives. It receives the feeling is dangerous, and the nervous system responds by increasing protection. Now imagine a different response. The feeling comes up. You notice it. You say, something is happening in my body right now. My nervous system is trying to protect me. I don't have to panic because I'm having this feeling. The situation has changed. The feeling is no longer the enemy. And this is a very important shift because safety is not about what is happening around you. Safety is also about how your body experiences what is happening inside you. Did it why logic alone sometimes doesn't fix anxieties because your nervous system did not learn to logic alone. It learned through experience. Think about learning how to ride a bicycle. Someone can explain balance to you. They can give you instructions. They can tell you exactly what to do. But eventually, your body has to experience it. Your body has to learn. I can do this. I can stay balanced. I'm okay. The nervous system works in a similar way. It needs no experience of safety. And I think that is where many people misunderstanding healing. They think that healing means I will never feel anxious again. But that is not always realistic. Everyone experiences stress. Everyone experiences uncomfortable emotion. The goal here is not to become a person who never feels anything uncomfortable. The goal is to become the person who knows I can experience discomfort and I can still be okay. I think that is a different relationship with anxiety for a long time. Many people have been taught to ask how do I get rid of this feeling, but a more helpful question maybe what is this feeling trying to tell me? Because sometimes anxiety is not a sign that you're failing. Sometimes it is a sign that your nervous system is trying to communicate with you. Now, let me give you an example. Imagine a car alarm. If the alarm goes off, you don't hate the alarm, right? You don't say that the alarm is broken because it made noise. You ask, why did it go off? Is there something I need to check? The nervous system is similar to that. The goal is not to destroy the alarm. The goal is to understand it and help it become more accurate. So the problem may not be that your alarm system is broken. The problem may be that it became so good at protecting you. So if you take one thing from the past of the conversation, I want it to be like this. The nervous system is not stuck forever. The pattern you learn were created through experience, and new experience can create new patterns. Now the next question becomes what does that actually look like in everyday life, and how do we begin creating experiences where the nervous system start feeling safer. Because I think understanding the nervous system is important. I want to ask how do we begin creating experiences where nervous system start feeling safer? If they feel familiar, you can share your experience in the chat. But even if you are just listening today, I hope it gives you a new way to understand yourself. Because understanding the nervous system, you know, I think understanding the nervous system is important. But eventually, we have to bring that understanding into our daily life. So let's talk about what that process can look like. So now, let's talk about something important. I think the nervous system can learn patterns. It can learn to stay alert. It can learn to protect you. But the harmful part is what you learn can also be changed. That doesn't mean we force ourselves to suddenly feel calm. It does not mean that we wake up one day and everything feels different. The nervous system usually changes to small experiences repeated over time. One thing I think important to understand is this: the body does not learn safety because you felt it. I mean, you tell it to be safe. I'm safe. I mean, you tell your body that, hey, I'm safe. You don't need to be on alert anymore. It just listen. That information is helpful, but your nervous system learns safety when it experience. I was uh, uncomfortable. I was okay. I feel anxious, and I was able to handle the movement. I had a difficult emotion, and I did not have to run away from it. Now let's think about how trust works in a relationship. You don't just be trust because someone says you can trust me. You be trust because the action showed you I can depend on this person. I know what to expect. I feel safe around them. The relationship with your nervous system, work in a similar way. You probably learn through repeated experiences. Sometimes those experiences are very well, are very small. Let's say, for example, um, when you notice your body become intense, instead of immediately criticizing yourself, you pause, you notice the shoulders are tight, your breathing change, and maybe you say, my mind looking for danger, and instead of saying, why am I doing this again? You try a different response, and that response is, my body is trying to protect me. That small change matters because you're creating a different experience. Another important part is learning that discomfort does not only mean danger. It can be difficult because our brain naturally want to avoid pain. That is part of being human. But sometimes growth happens when we learn. I can feel uncomfortable and to be safe. Now, for example, someone who avoids every stressful situation may be relieved in the short term, but never get a chance to experience. I faced this moment and I was okay. That experience is powerful because the nervous system receives new information. Now, I want to clear about something, and this does not mean we ignore real problems. It does not mean we tell ourselves everything is fine when something is actually wrong. Safety is not pretending. Safety is being able to accurately understand what is happening right now. Am I actually in danger? Or is my nervous system remembering a time when I was? And I think this is where compassion become very important because many people spend years fighting themselves. They fight their anxiety, they fight their thoughts, they fight their reactions. But imagine if instead of fighting our nervous system, you started listening to it, not agreeing with every fear, not letting anxiety control your life, but simply saying, I understand why you're trying to protect me. That creates a different relationship. For many people, healing begins with simple shift. Instead of asking, why am I like this? They start asking, what happened that taught my body to respond that way? The question creates curiosity, and curiosity creates space for change. So, I think the goal is not to become someone who never feel fear. The goal is to become someone who trusts themselves more when fear appears. Because you never sit down believes I can handle this. I'm here. I'm shaping up in this moment. That is when things begin to change. And before we finish today, I want to spend some time talking about something that I think is just as important as understanding the nervous system. Because knowledge is helpful, but but I think the relationship you build with yourself is what creates lasting change. Let's talk about how we can stop seeing our reaction as something wrong with us. So before we end today, I want to come back to something important because when we will talk about anxiety, stress, or feeling unsafe, the conversation often becomes, how do I get rid of this? How do I make this stop? And I completely understand why we think that way. Nobody wants to struggle. Nobody wants to feel uncomfortable. But sometimes the biggest change begins when we start treating ourselves like we're the problems, right? Because think about everything we talked about today. You know that university did not randomly decide. I want to make this person life difficult. It responds based on what it learned. It adapted. It tried to protect you. And even if some of those protection are no longer helpful today, they often started because your body was trying to help you survive a difficult moment. So, instead of looking at yourself and saying, okay, I should be normal, a different version might be, what is my body trying to tell me? What does this reaction need from me right now? That doesn't mean we have to deal with every answer thought. It does not mean that every fear is true. It means we can respond with understanding instead of immediately going into a battle with ourselves. And that is something I want everyone watching to remember. You're not your anxiety. You're not your nervous system response. You're the person who noticed the experiencing and learn how to respond differently. And if you're comfortable sharing, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a time when your mind knew you were okay, but your body still felt like something was wrong? Or maybe you have noticed that you're always preparing for problems, even during peaceful times. What has that experience been like for you? And a lot of people quietly experience these things, but they think they're not the only ones. Sometimes, just understanding that there is a reason behind the reaction can only bring some relief. That is okay. Even if nobody's sharing right now, I think there's something worth reflecting on because many people have spent years criticizing themselves for reaction that actually makes sense when we understand where they came from. So, as we close today, I want to leave you with three ideas. And what are those three ideas? The first one is that your body is not your enemy. The second one, your reaction has a history, and they usually the reason your nervous system learns what it learns. The third one, safety can be relearned. It may take time. It may take patience, but the nervous system is capable of change. And maybe the most important question we can ask ourselves is not why am I like this, but what is my nervous system trying to protect me from? Because the question creates understanding, and understanding is where change begins. And I want to thank you, everyone, for spending time with me today. If the conversation helped you understanding yourself a little better, I hope that you will come back for future conversation that will continue exploring the nervous system and how can we build a calmer relationship with ourselves. And that's all I have for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining my life. Hope you have a good night, good day, wherever you're at.